Hello everyone, welcome to another video. We have PGS 7 and PGS 8 right around the corner, and there was a few upsets and there's also a few new teams who are popping off, so we're going to go over everything you need to know about this upcoming event. The schedule and format for PGS 7 and 8 will be as follows. We have 3 days of group stage, 1 day break, and then 3 days of finals. We have a week in between PGS 7 and PGS 8, which will be good because it will give teams time to review their mistakes and hopefully improve. So I think PGS 7 will have a very different leaderboard to PGS 8 because those teams will be able to learn from their mistakes, especially after not playing in a international level lobby in a decent amount of time. Got to realize, guys, these international lobbies are hard. It's not easy to play in. Anyway, the prize pool, very, very top heavy. First and second taking home majority of the money. It's kind of rough for the teams placing third to eighth, but at the same time, top heavy prize pool makes winning even more important. In terms of the participating teams, we do have our 10 GPT teams, and we also have our qualifying team. So I'll go through each region individually just to give you guys some ideas of the stats and what to look out for. When it comes to PAS, we had 4 teams qualify, 3 from qualification and 1 GPT team. We had Team Falcons as the GPT team. We can look at the circles. El Proyecto, or former Lunar Galaxy, absolutely smashed this tournament. They played fantastic. It was a pleasure to watch. As you can see, they had high placement points. So did Bestia. But if we keep an eye on the average amount of kills, Team Falcons, despite coming 4th and with a 30-point gap on first, they still managed to have the most amount of kills, which can give you a lot of info on how aggressive Team Falcons were and how little placement points they really had. You can also see how aggressive Team Falcons are by the amount of engagements they're taking, and that might be some DMR farming here and there, but 1,200 average damage per game is killing 12 people per game, so that's a lot of people to shoot at. As you can also see, working in silence, they have under 1k damage taken, so then they're kind of taking less engagements than the other top teams. Now, when we look at the individual star players, we have all the top fraggers from each team. So Shrimzy, top frag for Falcons, 34 kills, absolutely incredible from him. We had WS, who is now Rock Esports, 27 from him, Kraken popping off, and they are now Furia, for people who didn't know. And, of course, Draft King with the performance of a century. He had 24 kills and MVPing for their team. So that is PAS. Moving on to Europe, we have 5 teams going to PGS. It's interesting to note that in the European Championship, we had most of the teams with very similar placement points, which kind of indicates how good European teams are with their macro. They're very good at surviving and getting into endgame. When looking at the top fragging team, we had Geeky with 88 kills and 4.9 average kills. Very impressive from them. They had an incredible day 2 and 3, and I'm interested to see how they will play. The only issue with Geeky is that DiffX, their top fragger, will not be able to attend, so I'm hoping that they still are able to put up a decent performance, and I'm sure they will be able to. Anyway, moving on, VP taking a lot of damage, as you can expect. This is quite a creative team, and also interesting to note is that Twisted, despite coming in 5th, had very high average damage dealt, and also a lot of knocks compared to 4th, 3rd, and 2nd. So it's interesting to see that Twisted is still doing the damage, they just didn't seem to get the points. And going on to our top fraggers from each of this team, we have Example, Molodoct, Hackatori, Beamy, and as I said, DiffX won't be there, but hopefully Geeky are able to pull through without their top fragger. On to APAC. APAC was a very interesting region in the sense that it was one of the few regions where a GPT team kicked out a team who placed above them. So Win Gaming does not get to go to PGS because TE is a GPT team. Anyway, we can see in APAC as well, there were three kings here with 208, 204, and 200 points. T5, EA, and Daytrade all looking extremely in form for PGS, so it will be very interesting to see if they're able to keep up this momentum. When it comes to top fraggers in this region, sadly our GOAT, Hymas, will not be attending. He had 53 kills in 24 games, absolutely insane, but we can keep an eye out for Jacom, Clories, Kiss, Ranger X, and Belmoth. They all did extremely well as well. I'm looking forward to seeing APAC play because I do think this region is improving at a very fast pace. Korea is looking very interesting this year. I do think the talent pool has been spread around a bit too much now. So we have one team who is just absolutely dominating. As you can see, DN Freaks, 168 points, 14 average points per game, 104 kills, 8.7 kills per game. Absolutely incredible performance. They're also doing almost 1,600 damage per game, and they have 91 knocks. So this team is definitely going to be one of the key ones to look out for during PGS. I think they have a lot of confidence. As you can see as well, in terms of top fraggers, Salute is 15 kills above the second top fragger in DN Wonderful. It's going to be extremely interesting to see how Salute performs. I think he could be an MVP candidate. I think he is playing extremely well at the moment. But when it comes to Korea, it definitely looks like an extremely top-heavy lobby. And I'll be interested to see how the 4 other Korean teams handle against these other international level teams. And finally, we have PCL. PCL was a great watch. Para absolutely dominating. It is interesting to note, though, that the first place PCL team did significantly better than the second place, and the second place did significantly better than third place. So I do think this will translate into international, as I think Para and 17 are a lot well suited to international play. As you can see, 17 has lots of placement points, indicating they have pretty solid macro and getting into late game. And then, of course, Para, 120 kills. They're just going to steamroll through a lot of teams. Their mechanics are incredible. So it'll be very interesting to watch how aggressive Para is going to be in this international. We also have Para with 111 knocks. These guys get entry picks and they force fights. I think it's going to be very, very difficult for other teams to put up with the combo of Ming Ming and Aches left. And when looking at the top fragger list, we did have Aches left top frag by a big chunk. Like 16 kills is a lot in competitive, especially in 18 games. New Happy December 12th did really well. Spaceman did really well as well. Xiaobei top fragging and Atongmu also top fragging for 4am. That's going to be a brief overview of PGS 7. We are going to do daily reviews of the games, but I just wanted to give you guys a brief overview of the stats and get to know who will actually be playing this event.